And I think we're ready. Walter, welcome. Hello. Tannen, hello. Welcome to the stream, everyone. We are back in Tyranny, and we're in the weird, basically, underground city. It's a little refugee city under the old walls. Inside the old walls? Hi, Wildcard Roulette. Welcome to the stream. We're playing Tyranny. I think we still have to talk to... Do we still have to talk to one of the dudes? This dude. Jaspos. Master Master of napping. Okay, sure. Flint napping, I presume. Oh my gosh, Axel! Holy crap. What are you doing up at this hour? And welcome to... Is this your first ever stream? First ever of these streams? My streams? Welcome. It's awesome. Thanks for hanging out. That's your secret. You're like the Hulk. You're always angry. Jaspos, Master of Napping, is apparently... Hi, Revamp. How are you? A heavily muscled man, standing next to a mixed pile of broken floor tiles and smashed boulders, head bent in focus, sledgehammer gripped tightly in both hands. Thank you very much, Axel. I appreciate it. Without breaking his gaze, he calmly extends an arm out as you approach, signaling for you to wait. In one smooth motion, he whirls the sledgehammer in a precise arc, effortlessly splitting a large green-gray boulder in two. Wow, okay, this guy's awesome. He smiles and lets out a pleased chuckle before turning to greet you. He says, "Ah, Fatebinder. Or should I say Governor? Why would you say Governor?" Hi, Gabriel. Can Toxicity is my oldest son, Gabriel. Welcome. Jeza, welcome. My gosh. Everybody's pouring in here. Dragon, welcome. Why am I saying Governor? Why is he saying Governor? After a year of military campaigning, the Bastard Tier, you were selected by Tunon to oversee Lethian's Crossing, a captured settlement in Haven that was deemed suitable for armed production. Ah, right, I was the governor there for a while. Okay, fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, Axel, don't worry about it. Nobody blames you. None of us are perfect. That explains all the ruckus I've been hearing. His voice is a deep, confident baritone that easily carries through the open air. Forgive my rudeness. Masters of the craft rarely break focus if we can help it. Old habit. He smiles broadly, motioning you to come forward. Your arrival is unexpected, but my forge is always open to servants of the court. What can I do for you? I'm Jasper. What? He asked me, what can I do for you? And then he continued talking. I'm Jaspos, Master of Napping, and this settlement is called the Bastard's Wound. I expect you're looking for its leader. No doubt someone pointed you in my direction. Alright, a little haughty, I guess. I know you know entering the old walls is illegal, so this little setup of yours is slightly against the law. Let's see. Diplomatic. I don't know if this really is that diplomatic, but the legality. These first two seem very final. I think we're just gonna say like, hey, make your case for why this needs to be here, or why you should be here. Then we're lucky to have you here, Fatebinder, says Jaspos, Master of Napping. I can assure you that I would never do or advise anything that works against Kairos' will. The wound is a complicated place. Many came before me, and I've done my part to steer things correctly, as I'm sure you know. That's not always an easy task. Me too. She was on Discord a few days ago. Seemed well. Oh my gosh, Gabriel, what are you doing? You're gonna be a pill, aren't you? There's another man here that unfortunately holds some sway. Wagstaff, a tidecaster. Possibly the last tidecaster, from what I understand. Nope, not the last. I've got one, although she's not here. He crosses his arms, his muscles tensing reflexively. He practically founded this place years ago, and truth be told, he's the one responsible for its creation, legal or not. We don't always see eye to eye, but I did trust that his decision was respectful of the Overlord's will. Dull crash interrupts the exchange. A forge helper, hands still trembling, hastily attempts to gather up the pieces of a dropped bowl. Nearby, several onlookers have gathered to observe the meeting and whisper nervously amongst themselves. Forgive them, Fatebinder, they're understandably anxious, he says. As you know, men and women live and die by your words. These people here, all of us in fact, are wondering what your intentions are for this settlement. Material support. Must be put to the sword. Haven't decided. Continue to operate. Well, Dude, don't get yourself banned from the chat. Yeah, no, I know what it is. I get it. Jeez, he was spamming that at me in text messages today on my cell phone. It was getting annoying. Now he's doing it in the chat. Behave yourself. Let's ask questions first. He says, I'm sure there's much more you'd like to know about the wound. Ask away. Anything you need. What does a master of napping do? He's not home right now, Axel. He's away. Ah, and I shall tell you, he's very excited about this, that I asked. Oh, great, here we go. He places a hand upon his belt and runs his finger across the many hammers, chisels, and picks draped across his waist, stopping at a simple stone hammer. Masters of napping focus on the fundamentals of all forge work. Before you can make bronze and iron, you need a hot fire in a controlled space. You need a stone forge. Yeah, that's right. Revamp's gonna lay down the law. He grips his belt firmly, puffing out his chest slightly as he speaks. Give me a few days and I can take a pile of rocks and fashion proper stone hammers and tools. Give me a few weeks and I can use those tools to build a worthy forge. And with that forge, I can create anything you'd ever need. Don't think you can do carpentry in a forge. Stonework is the purest form of our craft, he continues. Civilization could be reduced to ashes, and the master of napping would be the one to reforge it. Alright, so he thinks very highly of himself. What do you do as one of the wound's leaders? I don't look the part, I know. Most of my guild huddle in the heat of their forges and stick to themselves. Here, I think of my forge as more of a hearth. Think of my forge more as a hearth. Everyone is invited to share in its warmth. In a practical motion, he unfastens a rag looped around his belt and wipes off trace amounts of sweat from his already spotless brow. Perhaps that's better? What? Oh, he's saying he doesn't look the part of a leader? Okay. Obviously, I work the forge. In a place like this, that means everything. Those bridges you see? My handiwork. The knives and weapons everyone's carrying, they came from my forge. The nails holding our containers together and keeping our shelters upright? Mine again. But most importantly, I created these stone sieves to clean the water. He pats one of the open stone receptacles. Pride evident in his voice. These things, huh? First of its kind, and none too soon. When I came here, many were sick with the withering rot. The disease is in the water. It's a terrible way to go. But these sieves changed things. Okay, how do the sieves work? Trade secrets, I'm afraid. He pauses for dramatic effect. Except for members of the court. It's really a matter of using the right combination of enchanted stones, pulverized charcoal, and a few precious stones in a precise arrangement. Okay, enchanted stones and precious stones are two different things, I suppose. These materials act as the sieve in these containers. He points towards the base of one of them, drawing your attention to water dripping out of a small opening into a collecting bowl. Anything that comes out of there is free of the disease. Now, this place isn't exactly bursting with precious stones, so I had to devise a substitute. Beastman claws and teeth. Jesus, so the one, Wagstaff's using the blood. This dude's using their claws and teeth? Are we about to learn that the Beastmen aren't here voluntarily and that they are being killed for their blood, teeth and claws. Since they regrow over time, I've been able to collect donations from our many... Oh, alright. I find that a little hard to believe, but sure. I do prefer using stone whenever possible, though. Alright, tell me about Wagstaff. You should know that Wagstaff and I aren't on the best terms. Yeah, that's true. I guess slavery isn't exactly an improvement over having your teeth and claws harvested for magic. He's old and set in his ways. I've tried, believe me. I've reached out, invited him to share my fire and talk like men. But he's the sort that prefers his own company and ideas. He doesn't seem to care about people the way I do. In fact, I think he views us as irritants one must endure. He sighs loudly, shaking his head with an exasperated smile. He does help the wound, I'll grant him that, cleansing water with his magic. His methods are different than mine, of course. Far slower. He thinks his contributions are more valuable since they can combat disease. A valuable tool, for certain. But without the volume of water produced from my stone sieves, this settlement would die in a span. In the end, he just refuses to accept that his role has changed. He helped the wound get its bearings years ago, but being the first does not make one qualified to lead. He hates that people have responded to me, and has been blinded by that. Okay, Reef Talon? Excuse me. He holds a bowl of crushed rock aloft, squinting to examine its contents as he speaks. So, you've heard. It's unfortunate what happened to her. Reef Talon arrived a year after I did. Massive creature, one of the largest beasts I've ever seen. She never spoke of her past much, but we know she was in flight when she stumbled upon the wound with her cubs. He pulls out a fragment of the bowl. Pulls a fragment out of the bowl, running it slowly between his fingers. Oh no, is this Reef Talon's claws or teeth or something? Whatever she fled from, it didn't stop her from devouring the Bane. She was good at it, good enough to lead the Beastmen, but Reef Talon had something else far more important. She could heal others with a mere touch. Didn't matter if you'd been raked by the Bane or fell on your own sword. She could close up your wounds and send you on your way like nothing ever happened. Except, it is like something happened. She made it so that you couldn't sleep. I don't think she knew herself. She wasn't a student of her craft, not even using Beastmen mystics as a standard. What I do here, that's not an accident. It's years of controlled study and meticulous perfection. Reef Talon simply acted on instinct, and that didn't work to anyone's benefit. With a dissatisfied shake of the head, he flicks the unwanted chip into the water. Sometimes we're better off without such miracles. Those Reef Talon healed slowly became sick. It was impossible for them to sleep, even when exhausted, and the relentless waking drove them mad. The affliction takes a while to fully take hold, but the end result is always the same. Even worse, those bestowed with magic slowly lose their gifts. He looks towards the forge, a pained expression visible on his face. Honestly, if you're going to go crazy from lack of sleep, probably best that you don't have something as dangerous as magic. Might be good that you lose that skill. Now they're just known as the Sleepless, all of their life and vitality robbed and spent. A terrible end, Fatebinder. Reef Talon couldn't face her mistakes, and she fled into the old walls like a coward. He circles around the platform, speaking as much to passers-by as with you. And to think that many here saw her as a leader. What leader runs in the face of adversity? Those of us that remain, we are the ones that continue to hold up Bastard's wound. I toil every day to keep the fires of my forge running, and the people can see who they truly rely upon, who they can truly rely upon. Nearby onlookers shout and pump their fists in support, eliciting a raised fist from the forge-bound master in return. Too bad he doesn't actually have a raised fist here. Jaspos is affiliated with Jaspos. How do you deal with the Bane? In case you haven't noticed, the beastmen with us aren't your common feral savages. Something about this place focuses them. Do they come as our workers? Oh, bam! He's pointing, bam. Or on their own, they all eventually become fixed. Yes, thank you, Gabriel. Glad you feel like you've accomplished something here. Whether they come as our workers or on their own, they all eventually become fixated on the Bane. I've seen some hunched over guarding our portals for hours. If any Bane come through, they'd savage them instantly. But apart from the Bane, our beastmen aren't violent. Strange, but welcome. He scratches his chin in thought. I have no explanation. We never asked the beastmen to act as our sentries. They took it on naturally and have never complained. We do lose some to injury, but so far the defense has worked. Which kind of choices do I have here? What do you intend? For now, the settlement may continue. Material support. Must put it the sword. I haven't decided yet. Hang on. Let me look around. I think there's... Huh? What's the journal updated to say? Decide how to deal with the settlement. But, I'm curious because didn't... What's her face? Reef Talon run away? Where did she run away to? I assumed that there'd be a way for us to follow her and find Sage L. Thanks, Axel. Appreciate it. I think I've talked to this guy already. An outsider, you'll be wanting to speak to the master. He's easy to hear. Past the forge. Blah, blah, blah. Like the forge-bound enclave at Lethian's Crossing, it seems these craftsmen have hewn and set the stones, damn it, of the old walls into an admirable hearth. Well, shit, I guess I gotta decide what to do with these people. There's really no place else to go? Let's see. There's... That's where we came in. That's going into the house. That's going to the farm. That's going into the house. It's Melly Mel. Wagstaff. Sipid Moniker. There are no other... Jaspos. No other, Oh, and Telesophia. No other things to do here. Consider me surprised. I thought we'd be... Just realized I haven't actually looked around up here where Jaspos is standing. Hello, denizen. Please speak to Master Jaspos at the forge before pronouncing any verdicts. I mean, I think I'm fine with these people being here. They're making it work. They shouldn't be in the old walls by Kairos's law, but I'm not really too interested in upholding Kairos's law these days myself. I guess I don't want to piss off my boss Tunon. He would want me to put these people to the sword. But I feel like if I am truly special with the spires and all that stuff, and if I am going to end up perhaps making some kind of rebellious move of my own, it'd be helpful to have people who owe me. So I think I'm going to say they may operate independently, with the understanding that they'll remember that I'm doing them this favor. An enthusiastic smile erupts across his face. I'm glad you've come to see it that way, says Master Jaspos. We've accomplished a great deal here so far, and I have plans for a great deal more. Bastard's Wound thanks you, Fatebinder. Excited whispers can be heard behind you as onlookers take in the news with visible relief. A few settlers quickly escape towards different corners of the settlement, spreading word to the anxious. He continues, the wound could be a great asset to you in the future. Aha! Fatebinder. Yes, this is what I was hoping for. We've managed well enough on our own, but someone of your prestige could really help us thrive. If you've the time, I have a matter that could benefit from your expertise. Okay. Damn, I already did you a favor and you're instantly asking for another one, but sure. He says, we don't have the luxury of trading with the top side. It could attract the wrong kinds of attention. Instead, we craft what we need. In my case, I can make a wide variety of tools, but I can't make everything. When we were building the forges of Lethian's Crossing, I had access to some of the finest chisels, excuse me, tappers, and abrasives. I carried only my travel kit with me when I found myself here in the wound. No kidding. I suppose if I would have said, you all must die, then this rest of this would have been all fighting. I would have had to kill everybody. I Carried only my travel kit with me when I found myself here in the wound. I've been able to craft a few replacements, but to my chagrin, I haven't recaptured the craftsmanship. I would do ebook reading. Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. I don't know. I think I feel like to be a good reader, especially probably for fiction, you have to have some acting experience. There's a lot of acting, I think, that goes into reading dialogue and all that stuff. Needs to have tangents. Dear listener, I'm going to step aside from the author's narrative here to tell you about how my feelings on video game construction. Morality systems in video games. Are they developing the right way? Couldn't it be done differently if we blah, 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 blah. And now back to your regularly scheduled narrative. Since I've been missing, I imagine my tools were appropriated by my colleagues in Lithian's Crossing. Lahara will no doubt know of their whereabouts. With my old tools, I could really stay on top of the work that's needed to keep this place running. All right, I'll speak with Lahara. I'm sure this will be a simple matter for you, Fatebinder. Thank you for your assistance. Why can I ask this? Whoa! What the fuck? What just happened? This is exactly what... Whoa! Oh, I leveled. Yeah, Gator's got to be there. He's got to at least be listening. I didn't... Like, I'm like, wait a minute. I just asked him if he needed help, and it's the exact same message as the one he gave me before. And then something weird happened, and I lit up. It's because I love... All right! Jesus. Napping on the job. Talk to the Forgebound in Lithian's Crossing. Bastard's Womb Farm area. Oh, alright. So I'm not done here. Merchant's Crossroad, Lithian's Crossing. So we got a couple reasons to go to Lithian's Crossing. And the remaining tires. I could go on a Gator tangent about Gator and how he puts me on tangents. The metaphysics of it all, you know. Alright, well hang on, let's level up. Then we'll go to the farm and try to find the whatever it is that we're looking for there. I don't get taken out very often. Maybe more spell strength, magic defense. Walter, yeah. I get it. I know enough about geometry to get it. Tandem cosines. That joke. It's a twofer. It's a geometry twofer. Yeah, wits. Sure. Mainly for the magic defense, I think. And, of course, we have a billion things to choose from. I think I'm going mainly with range at this point. So we've got Fan of Blades. Fire projectiles in a large arc, hitting all enemies within a cone. Ooh. I'd like to see somebody try to throw like 3 javelins at once. That'd be pretty cool. Moderately increases damage with thrown weapons and allows basic attacks to strike multiple times. Ricochet. Grazes and misses with ranged attacks bounce to enemies behind their target. Oh, okay. I'll take Penetrating Shot and replace Heart Shot, I think. Additional accuracy, I suppose. Let's take Penetrating Shot. Penetrating Shot. I'll even sign it if I can't reach the paper at the correct angle. This is good. You guys are good. I admit. Okay, to the farmstead, which I think is right over here. Wait, what's this? What? What? Did I not go in here? I didn't go in here before. Well, holy shit. Good thing I checked the journal. I was about to leave all this.
You see what I see?
Yes. I was about to leave this whole place and not check it out. Torrential water plummets down from the jagged openings in the old walls above, churned by their passage through ancient tunnels. A cool mist brushes your face, smelling faintly of dust and decay. Ah, the cool mist of dust and decay. He told me he don't eat mushrooms, and I said, them topside mushrooms you don't eat, and he said mushrooms all the same, and I said, oh, I didn't see what he said. Can't, oh, dialogue, here we go. And I said, how they be the same when these glow. What? Your grammar is questionable, sir. I don't know how to parse what you're saying. And her grammar is questionable as well. Tycho? I hate farms, but I like pigs. We had that one back in the Apex camp we called Stone Shield. Wonder where that pig is now, says Verse for... I guess she's just reminded of them. Fatebinder, says Tycho. She bows deeply. Welcome to the Wounds Farm, the only source of food within the old walls. Bet you'd never imagined anything like this down here, did you? Like you've got questions in need of answers. You run this farm, Tycho? That I do, she says, all sassy-like. Have since shortly after we arrived here. I may have been a mercenary up top, but down here I've developed into quite the farmhand, she chuckles. I turn the soil, haul up fertilizer, even sing to the plants. I've near grown to love this farm like it's my own child. Except, unlike a child, the farm feeds me. The whole community, huh? Near enough. Gwyneth gathers some stuff from topside on occasion, but most people get their food from down here. From here. We got a whole host of vegetables, and the mushrooms down here turned out to be tastier than anything grown in shit has any right to be. Got pigs, too, for the occasional feast day. I keep everything orderly and efficient. One slip up and we're talking months on tight rations at best. These crops can be real particular about the kind of water they like. Give them too much, too little, the wrong kind. Next thing you know, they're limp and brown. Is it normal for them to be so picky? I suppose if the water has the withering rot or whatever. Well, every plant is different, she says, but the water situation down here is real touchy. Jaspos filters work for the topside plants, since it's more or less what they're used to. Those stone jugs of his get rid of whatever makes people sick, while keeping in the nutrients my veggies need. Give that water to the mushrooms, though, and they stop glowing. Then they shrivel up. No good for anything. No idea why. I figure the topside nutrients kill them. Wagstaff's water is about as pure as it gets, though, and the mushrooms take to it just fine. Okay. Interesting. The way this works. Chard, nashroot, charlock, and tubers all flourish in this noisome soil, despite growing within the old walls. I presume we must be directly under that opening in the top where the sunlight comes in, because I'm not sure how this would work without it. Cheese? Sure, I'll help myself to cheese, even though you guys down here probably need it more than I do. Lunette, who's dressed like a nun. At least she's wearing the top. The headpiece of a nun. Howdy, Fatebinder, she says. To be honest, I didn't expect a courtly type like you to show up in this pisshole. Would have thought you'd have better things to do than check up on a few wilting greens growing in beast shit. What can I do for you? How did you end up here? I came in, 2 years back? With the Freeblade Marauders. Been in the wound ever since. What's a Freeblade Marauder? Nothing but the finest of the many fine mercenary groups out of the free cities. There's the Freeblades, the House of Broken Regents, and a few others. 'Bronze Brotherhood. 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 ' Survived thanks to their safe position at posting it at Lethian's Crossing. Right. Okay. Aren't the Bronze Brotherhood out of the Free Cities? I remember vaguely. The Brotherhood? Those fucking fucks can go fuck themselves. Especially that Ratterman, whatever his fucking name is. What a huge cock. Crazy as a beast woman raised on batshit. One of these days he'll lose his head to one of his own people. You mark my fucking words. This nun likes to curse. What do you do around the farm? Lunette? Oh, no, her name is Lunette. I read it as if it was text. Yeah, more cursing nuns. Used to have patrol out in the ruins, keeping the entry free of any unwanted visitors with Hillstrider and her crew. Yeah, I think they're dead, actually. About a year ago, though, my damn fool husband didn't pull out in time, and the wound found itself another mouth to feed. Oh, baby. Okay. This is a horny, cursing nun. She'll have none of the kind language, huh? Of course, the worthless bastard went and got himself torn to pieces fighting Bane, so I'm up here tending crops and letting my sword arm go to waste so the kid doesn't grow up an orphan. She sighs. Don't get me wrong, he's a good kid for a babe. I'm just damn glad he's out of me. Tycho's got me on vegetable duty, which suits me just fine. Don't know if it's some post-pregnancy bullshit or something, but those creepy glowing mushrooms make me want to lose my lunch and dinner. She glances towards Tycho. She's been hovering more than usual as of late. Like she thinks I'm slacking off. Okay. See ya, Lunette, you crazy nun. What do we got in here? Staggering burn. Hello, denizen. Were it up to me, we'd be growing more tubers and less nashroot, but nashroot goes further, I guess. Another denizen. Hello, beast person. Can't talk to the beast person. Faint illumination from the sky above limbs the jagged edges of the fractured old walls overhead. Far below, you can make out the flickering dots of torchlight marking the wound community. Oh, we went up! Okay, I thought we went down. We're actually above them right now, I suppose, then. Okay. Makes sense. You want to be closer to the daylight, I suppose. Ocean's Fury. Smooth blue fur frames this massive beast woman's flat face, her blunt snout wrinkling as she sniffs at you. Her skin, in those spots where you can see it, glistens, almost pearlescent. Her upper lips curl back to expose dagger-sharp teeth. Human smells of stone mystic power, of earth blood and soil strength, she snorts, yet looks small and frail like hairless whelp. For what does human disturb Ocean Fury's prowling vigil? How many tribes call the wound home? What do you mean by your prowling vigil? Ocean's Fury prowls wound farm, hunts Bane with claws and fangs, drives away trespassers with growls and knuckles. She points out to the vast gulf to the north. Old walls split down center like lightning forked stump. Bane slip across gulf. Ocean Fury watches always. How many tribes call the wound home, beast woman? One and more than one, like human tribes, but grown stronger in difference. What does that mean? One tribe called Woundkin hunts prey in Bastard's Wound. All beast women answer to Woundkin name. All did look to Reef Talon as Prima, leader of the beast tribe. Primacy almost always held by a female. There we go, it's matriarchal. This rank is won and defended through vicious bloodshed and fights for dominance rather than birthright. Oh, okay. So it's not hereditary matriarchy. Many alphas may exist within a single tribe, but only one can rise above the others as Prima. Before Reef Talon left into Old Walls. What tribes did they belong to before they all became Woundkin? Ocean's Fury and Reef Talon are Manta-born, she says, first among tribes. She draws herself up proudly and thumps a closed paw against her chest. Manta-born hunt sea as swift as sharks, range long coasts from stalwart to seed, rule ocean where humans bring no war. West Reavers have fur like rust, range northern lands, highest tier, not many days from Wound toward sunset, where humans fear tread. Yep. She seems to consider the tribe. West Reavers best hunters in grasslands, good hunters in mountains. She chuffs slightly. Poor hunters in sea salt. Stone Stalkers, small. Good grief. So many different tribes. but roam in large packs. Strong mystics know the stone song of Earthblood. Good hunters in mountains, not as good any other place. Few others stalk with Woundkin. Chases clouds and gloom of dawn Katvana. Only few left. What about the tribe's differences? Her eyes narrow slightly. Each tribe knows its hunting grounds best. Mantiborn best swimmers. Small stone stalkers climb quickest. Shadow hunters blend with night and stalk with cunning. Simple. Okay, I'll be going now. She snorts and nods. I don't know why the conversation ended there. We didn't actually... We got interesting beast person information from her, but not really much about the way the Bastard's Wound community is working. Pigs? Pigs! Chronicle of the Sages. The chronicle was hidden here by Sage Lexime. Take it so that Lantry may study it further. Ah, the old concealed text in a pile of pig shit trick. Classic. As Lantry approaches the corner of the pen, a pile of hay and animal droppings vanishes, replaced by a stash of scrolls. Oh, so it was an illusory pile of pig shit. Now here's a subject close to my heart, he says. Histories of the School of Ink and Quill. Who doesn't love a little auto-chronicle? Roll calls, minutes, graduation announcement, publication dates, and letters. Oh my, I doubt Sages Koran and Ostrich had any idea their correspondences would be immortalized for the records. Not the most exciting bit of history, but I can see why Mel and Lexime would want the words of colleagues close at hand. Lantry thumbs through the tome, chuckling with a nostalgic smile each turn of the page. I take it this brings back memories, Lantry. Indeed. Some of these notes even have my name on them. Ah, yes, here's my series on bird anatomy. I did that back in 388. Where have the years gone? I know it's all so worthless in hindsight, but it is a record of our school, whatever that's worth. I can obsess about these later. We have other things to do, right? Lantry closes the text and looks up at you with a smile. I'm suspicious of everything we find in this place. Take a closer look. How can I say no to that order? With a smug grin, the old sage dives into the texts. Several minutes pass as Lantry pores over the pages. Strange, he says. All these names of dead people. Good riddance to some. Others, our loss. Kairos' loss. Anyone you know very well? In a way, all of them, he says. The school was never crowded enough to disappear into anonymity, but as a field scholar of sorts, I was as distant as it gets. He shakes his head with a heavy sigh, lifting the quill from near his shoulder as he does. He puts the quill to his hand and scribbles several circles of sepia. Anything seem incorrect? Sure. Relaxed smile sets across his face as Lantry exhales, wiping his sepia-stained hand against his cheek. Oh, this is odd. Did you find something? Well, there's a passage here that isn't quite correct. See for yourself. The text describes a debate between sages discussing the Riddle of Rings, which is... Having spent a year with the Forgebound as governor of Lethian's Crossing, you've been subjected to countless hours of banter from the artisan magi and know the riddle as a sort of proverb the elder Forgebound teach to their apprentices. Which melts first is the Riddle of the Rings. Novices often assume the common copper ring melts in a hot flame, the bronze ring in a hotter flame, and the lucrative iron ring melts in the hottest flame of all. But a trained Forgebound knows otherwise. The riddle is generally mentioned when young apprentices ask too many questions about why others outside the guild seem, to the Forgebound at least, utterly incapable of appraising and respecting good craftsmanship. One sage with the familiar name of Lantry is arguing that the Riddle of the Rings posits that Kairos has already conquered the Tears. For if the sages speak the language of Kairos, Lantry reasoned, and use the currency of Kairos, then military conquest is an extraneous formality. Odd, I learned the Riddle of Rings differently. Yeah, I guess that's where I know it from, so let's mention that. Bronze first, iron last. Oh, so you know the original, says Landry. No disrespect with the Forge Bound. It's a great teaching tool. I just borrowed the term for rhetorical effect that day. It was 425, and Sage Cavil was giving a lecture series, having recently returned from his expedition to observe the Forge Bound and their ways. At one point, he discussed their teaching methods, so the Riddle of Rings came up as part of his lecture. At the time, I joked that the real Riddle of Rings is, aren't we already conquered? And I launched into a not entirely sober diatribe about Kairos' inevitable invasion and dominion. According to this, I gave a stirring speech met with applause. Hardly. I was hit in the head with an old scroll case and told to sit down, shut up, and let the scholars talk. Actual events vindicated your point of view. Why downplay that fact? Even so, Landry says, this is not how it happened. You could correct the record if you care that much. I could, and I will. I'll make a note to return to this. Until I know why this was edited as such, I just assume. Just as soon, I presume. Not tamper further. I just assume not tamper further, or I think it's I just as soon not tamper further, I think is what he's trying to say there. I think my nostalgia has been overtaxed for the time being. Let's get moving. I need to think on this a bit. Entry closes the tome, stashing the old book in one of his satchels. Hi, Klytos. Seeing you approach, he straightens up to seem a little taller. Wasn't expecting to see a Fatebinder down here. Name's Klytos, Protector of the Farm. He announces it like a title. You may have heard of me. I assure you we have not, says Barrick. Oh, Barrick is unimpressed. Two muscleheads squaring off here. Verse says, nope. Landry says, Landry skims through a few pages of notes. Not at all. So, Klytos is like, okay, that introduction didn't go well. You need me for something? Despite his armor, you can tell that he flexes his muscles. Oh, I like this guy. Tell me about yourself, Klytos, Protector of the Farm. Sunder born and raised, he says. Didn't have much growing up, and the sea life wasn't for me, so I took up the blade. Been a warrior ever since. Ran with the House of Broken Regents before we ended up here. What is the House of Broken Regents? Surprised you haven't heard of us. We're the best bloody mercenary company out of the free cities. And don't let those motherless free blade marauders tell you any differently. Oh wait, this wasn't Lunette a free blade marauder? Lunette or whoever the lady is that's in charge of the farm. I can't remember. We're the only crew to have bested those stalwart bastards. Not that they'd ever admit it. Sour expression briefly mars his feature. West Philadelphia Sunder, born and raised. That's pretty good. I like it. Welcome, Pear Tree. Thanks for joining us. Entry says, it's a matter of Sunder pride. The city fought a bloody war for independence, and the terms of the treaty gave Sunder its independence from Stalwart in return for the public declaration that Stalwart did not lose, so much as neither side won. And that's why I and other children of Sunder smirk a little at the name. Unbroken. How do you protect the farm? Klytos, Protector of the Farm? Is it? I don't know. I guess I haven't really seen too many people play it. This is my first playthrough of it, and I'm learning it all as we go. I'm dripping water all over myself. I presume every time you replay it, you make different decisions throughout, huh, Pear Tree? That's what I would think I'd want to replay it to try to do it a different way each time. Ain't it obvious, says Klytos. I'm a fighter. A bloody good one, too. It's almost a shame to have me up here on the farm, so far from the howling bane. You want me to try to ask Tycho? Oh, Tycho, right. That's the lady, yeah. Want me to try to ask Tycho to reassign you? His eyes widen. That would be kind of you, but that would leave the farm underguarded. Maybe if it gets too bad down there, sure, but the beastmen seem to have it handled. Claw for claw. He swallows. He's a little bit of a scaredy cat. Tycho has me looking after the mushrooms. She keeps a close eye on everything around here. Bit too close, if you ask me. And she's quick to remind me when I cock something up. Used the wrong water on the mushroom once. And she up and decked me. So, I always think it's funny when this happens all the time in RPGs. You can ask, like, hey, so what do you do here? And some NPC will say, oh, I do this, this, and this. My boss, though, real jerk off, right? Like, they're always willing to volunteer something that most people don't volunteer about to strangers about their interactions or their relationship with the people around them. This is kind of funny. Like, I'm just imagining if somebody came up to me at work and was like, hey, what do you do here? I'm like, oh, I do administrative work for the emergency department. My boss, though, what an ass. They'd be like, excuse me, that's not very professional of you. Clytos says, obviously I would have blocked it. He chops the air with an open palm. Or dodged it. He jukes illustratively to the left, which is actually this way for me. If I'd thought anything like that was coming, he clears his throat. Anyway, had a black eye for weeks. Not doing that again. No how, no way. All right, so long, Clytos. Watch as you go. A fabled warrior in his own mind. Skirmisher. Okay, let's check out. Whoa, all right. What do we have here?
Spotted something.
Turquoise and opal. Technically, I'm stealing from these people, but I guess I'm the fate binder and they don't give a shit. Or they're not willing to call me on it anyway. Little looks appealing about these rubbery, dung-scented mushrooms, yet the settlers of the wound care for them as if they were the finest fruit. Denizen. Denizen. Did I already check out? I already checked out that side. Is there something to say to Tycho? Welcome back, Fatebinder. No. Just thought maybe after we talked to everybody in the farm area that there might be something new to discuss. Everyone hates their boss. I actually use a shield. My character is a javelin throwing diplomat. Which I know sounds a little insane. But yeah, I don't know. I think the image fits the character pretty well. When I put the character together, which incidentally, I think the first whole episode of this stream, the first time I streamed it, I streamed for 90 minutes and basically got through character creation and the prologue. It was a huge amount of information. This one. Yeah, it's a pretty rough approximation. You put the helmet on, it looks just about right. I guess the shield doesn't quite match, but... Violin the Fourth, that was suggested to me by users, the name. We ended up actually kind of making an amalgamation name out of a couple different suggestions. Alright, let me just confirm here. Find the remaining chronicles. Search the old walls for additional fragments hidden by Lexine. Once I've gained access to the lower section of the Bastard's Wound old walls. So that means there's more sections I am not able to get to at present, which it makes sense because Reef Talon went somewhere. Did I talk to this guy already? Fatebinder, greetings to you, though unkempt and draped. Wait, hang on. A weary-looking man observes you through dark, sunken eyes, nodding faintly as you approach. Unkempt and draped in disheveled rags, he bows deeply in the style of northern tiersman nobility. You observe that his right arm is emaciated and frail, seemingly rooted in place, except he's using it. Okay. Third-party candidate out there. The javelin throwing party. The platform is not complicated, but it is deadly. Oh, that's too bad. Really? I did javelins because I actually never, in all the RPGs I played, I've never done a throwing weapons character, so I wanted to try it. Rostrum Link, son of the late Rostrum Volus. I saw you in the Bastard City shortly after Tunan's arrival. We've come a long way from then, haven't we? He chuckles mirthlessly at the memory. Is there something I can do for you? Tell me about yourself and Rostrum House. Bam! I think you're well acquainted with the manor and its grounds at this point. My father's legacy and my inheritance reduced to rubble and ash. They call it the Shattered Bastion. He runs his fingers across his eyes, tracing the dark circles that ring them. Rostrum House is but a memory now. Prior to Kairos' arrival, we were a successful merchant family with roots that extended from Azura's capital to Ardent's coast. Oh. Inefficient use of my character's abilities, huh? To do ranged weapons. Or throwing weapons, rather. My father never married, says Rostrum Link, but that didn't stop him from asserting control over these lands. Tiersman laws be damned. I'm all that remains of his 3 heirs. Oh, so his is the ruined house up on the surface, I presume? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe his home is in the Bastard City. How was Rostrum Manor destroyed? I suppose my father's optimism was to blame, he says. Before the Overlord's forces even set foot in the Bastard Tier, my father invited Tiersmen of all persuasions into these walls to resist Kairos. Yes, okay, fine. So this is the manor up top. Didn't matter who you were. Once the tier fell, Cairn arrived to make an example of my family. That monster sundered the whole damn mountain along with my home. My family was killed by the very walls meant to protect them. I was the luckiest, merely pinned down by the stone column I clutched as the floor heaved from Cairn's onslaught, hence his weakened right arm, I suppose. His maimed arm quivers from some unknown exertion. Eventually, a single finger extends downward and points at his right leg, heavily scarred and bent at an unnatural angle. My fighting days are done, Fatebinder, even if I hate the Overlord more than ever. What do you do here personally? Shouldn't you be leading the Senate? Why would I say that? Because he's nobility? I don't think I care about that. Highly unusual for your father to claim land ownership. Why is that unusual? Is this whole society matriarchal? He didn't cleave to tradition, says Rostrum Link. I'm sure the passing women the land and stuffing men aboard the ships made sense. Oh, okay, so this is for the Sunder, I suppose? They do that? Stuffing men aboard the ships made sense when our ancestors needed cleaner lines of inheritance. Men drown, so women wear the crown, as they say. My father never set foot in water. Goes to show how you can overcome any eccentricity if your coffers are full of rings. They speak more persuasively than you or I ever could. Alright, let's get going. I'm not going to ask him about the leadership thing. That doesn't seem appropriate. Juggernaut! Why'd you even come here? Hey, watch it. Merchant Eulogy. Fatebinder. The woman before the cart greets you even. I thought I talked to these people already, but I guess I skipped them to go find Wagstaff over there. She wears her graying hair pulled back high over fouled leathers. Her narrow eyes emphasizing the dirty creases above her cheeks. There's not a lot of trade in the wound, she says, and little of that in magical goods. Oh, yeah, of course, Bear Tree, yeah. Got it. If you need scribbles or mixtures gleaned from our forays into the old walls, I'm the one to ask. Whoa. Scribbles, eh? Any runes, perhaps? What can you tell me about Bastard's Wound? Not a bad little place to carve out a bit of life, she says. Better than the war topside, anyway. Wagstaff started things, and he's been a capable hand on the rudder, if that makes sense. Real father-like, as if he's got a stake in it. That over-puffed bricklayer Jaspos, on the other hand, he's just like every other shit come south with the conquest, just looking for a way to bend the tiers over and ram his poker up. She clears her throat. Got a bit away from myself there. You know that collecting and distributing forbidden lore from the old walls is as serious a crime as settling in them, right? I could ask that, but I did just basically say, hey, this whole place is cool in my eyes, so I'm not going to be a hard ass. Let's see what you have on offer. Sure thing. Here's what we've scrounged up. Ooh, hang on. Exceptional sigil of Precise action. Accent. Distant impact. Expression. Lightning core. I can't remember if I've read these or not. Cerulean scales. Accessory. Plus 15% shock damage on hit. Plus 15% shock damage on abilities and spells. I bet that's a good one for Tidecaster. I bet that's a good one for Ebb. But I think I already have one for Ebb that I still haven't given her. Okay, hang on a second. Let me check. Let me see what I know here. Lightning. I know lightning. Distant impact. I know distant impact. And then the third one was an accent, which I'm pretty sure I don't know. Volcanic. Spell Surge. Selfless Magic. I just want to see what they're called, damn it. Cyclical Energies. Staggering Force. What's this one? Ah! Damn it. Alright, whatever. I'm just gonna buy it. Fuck it. I'm sure I need it. Full Shock Mage, huh? Pathfinder. Yes, I'm here to trade again. I want to buy that cool... This one. Why can I buy more than one? I only need one, right? Consider me confused. Wait, no. Where the hell is it? Did I buy it? Here it is. Does not have enough lore. 75. You can read it though. Signal of Precise Action 4. Dang, we went from 1 straight to 4. Okay. Yes, thank you, Pear Tree. I am betting, though, that this will make the... giant boulder. The magic requirement so high, 115. Yeah, that nobody can cast it yet. So, I didn't actually do myself any favors by picking that up right now, unless you literally can't get anywhere else in the game. In which case, sure, I'll take it. I had the money. Hello, beast person. Let's go talk to Wagstaff and just let him know. I'm sure he's probably already heard the good news. Oh, did I not talk to her either? Welcome to our little refuge, Fatebinder. You are here to help us keep the wound clear of bane. Insipid moniker picks at a splotch of dried blood on her greaves. She wears the patchwork armor of a Scarlet Fury. She's affiliated with Wagstaff, okay. Are the bane constantly showing up like that? Welcome to our headache. The way the bane come and go, you'd think the teleporters were beaded curtains. Lucky for us, the beasts seem to love killing bane. They'll put in more hours on sentry duty than any human, and I welcome the extra sleep. What's through the portal? That goes deeper into the untamed old walls. We send patrols out to sharpen the beast's claws and lighten the numbers of bane, but we haven't exactly mapped it. How'd you get that name? Funny story, that, she frowns. There's a piece of advice they should give every new chorus conscript, but don't. Ha! Burst belts abruptly before clapping a hand over her mouth and swallowing further chuckles. Somebody made the mistake of asking the voices for a nickname, didn't she? She snickers as she shakes her head. I could have been shits for days or bleeding sores if I'd waited long enough. Even hindsight would be more appropriate. Oh, that's like the time I thought the guy's name was Shits from his ass. Hover over the paper of the spell and it'll say if you've learned or... Yes, that I was aware of. I didn't know that you had to hover, though. I thought it would only show me that if I picked it up out of a chest or something. I didn't know you could see that when I was hovering over it during purchasing. But I'll remember that now. What do you do here exactly? I'm assuming you're overseeing the beast people here. Whatever Wagstaff wants, she says. Guess you can call me an apprentice. I can read, which is more than most can say. Verse. Yeah, I'd prefer insipid moniker over shits for days, too. It's more subtle than the red work of the chorus, but I don't mind a change of pace. She's looking very menacing there. So the blue is to honor Wagstaff? Exactly. Fucker iced half my gang with his spells, so now I fight for him. Those are the rules. In a twisted way, she says, I think the voices would approve. Not that his approval is any safer than his wrath. Alright, later. Uh-oh. And she's gone. Oh shit, this isn't where Wagstaff is. He's over here. Hard at work, I see, Wagstaff. The old man regards you as you approach Fatebinder. Yeah, he's already got the word. Okay, just want to make sure there was nothing else that we could say to him. One more check of the journal here before we head out. Remaining Chronicles, which we'll have to do another time, I think, because I don't think we can get there now. Lethian's Crossing. Merchant Crossroads, rather. And Lethian's Crossing. So that's where we're going next. Back to. I mean, we've been there once. There might have been another merchant? Pelagia? Did we talk to Pelagia? Greetings, Fatebinder. I think I speak for all the Forgebound when I thank you for your graciousness in regard to our little community. We don't normally barter our weapons and armor, but for a personage, such as yourself, I'll gladly make an exception. She's affiliated with Jaspos. She says, would you care to browse our works, or was there something else I could help you with? Talk to me about Bastard's Wound. I never expected to be making a home in the old walls, that's certain, but between our efforts and Master Jaspos' guidance, we've built out of this place something like a home. If we could find a better solution for the water issue. Nothing against Wagstaff, he has my admiration as a community founder, but being the first settler and being the first among settlers are two wholly different things. Let's see what you got. I think you'll be impressed, Fatebinder, even with the limited resources available in the Wound, the Forgebound craft the finest creations in all of Tyranny. Whoops! No, I just want to look at it. Gore Thrust. Two-handed. Okay. Damn. Heavy iron armor. Colossus extract. Okay, it doesn't cost me anything, so sure, why not? And then selling rather. Got so many consumables that I never ever use. I'm gonna hold on to those for now. That one for now, just in case any of my other party members don't yet have full inventory on charms, whatever they're called, accessories. You know what I mean. Okay. And then, does anybody have anything individually they need to sell? Keep those for now. No, we're good. Actually made money on that. Oh, right, we did, because we didn't actually pay for the thing that we bought. New Spire Infirmary upgrade. Okay. I think we talked to everybody. Oh, wait. Mel. Was there something else we can say to Mel? Mel, there you are. Hi, Mel. Yeah, you're probably right. Wet hair all around. Fatebinder, you've returned, says Mel. Is there anything I can help you with? No. Alright, fine. Thought for sure I could tell him something about like, hey, I decided not to kill everybody. He'd be like, oh, thank you. That's awesome. Oh, thank God. We were really worried about that. Yes, there's the farm. Okay, so there are other locations. I don't have access to them right now. That's fine. Cairn's Passage. Back to the cave, then. And then back to the surface. And then back to Lethian's Crossing or whatever's on the way. Oh, you mean I could have just done this. Okay. So that's the Shattered Bastion. That's the surface. That's where we are. Merchant's Crossroads is where we need to go next. Then to Lethian's Crossing, which I think is here at the Sunset Spire. Am I underleveled? I don't really know where I should be at this point in the game. I'm also not sure if there's anything I've skipped. There might be. The Voices of Nerat. Uh-oh. He wrote me a missive. Let's see. Let's remind ourselves. This is the one where he sent a message to us with information for verse. Oh, the others are higher than me. That's true. Yeah. I see what you're saying. I sent him back saying, piss off, and then he responds, Dear Fatebinder, you clearly remain woefully unpracticed for the fine art of setting insults to paper. We shall lock away the page you sent for the day when we require evidence of your impaired judgment and lack of impartiality. Brother Tunon should find the revelation intriguing, don't you think? With indescribable fondness. Voices of Nerat. Okay. Malfora? Hello. What's your affiliation? Lethian's Crossing. I'm not open for business, friend, and I'm not looking for trouble. Basila and Lethian's Crossing expects me with this shipment shortly. Wouldn't want to keep her waiting. The merchant watches you warily as you approach, a heavy pack hanging from her shoulders. My favorites. Soft and well-fed, this one, says Verse. Look at her stance. She can handle herself. Verse takes the woman in with a long, appraising gaze. Oh. Malfoy says, Excuse me? The merchant blinks. Let's just glare silently. You must have me mistaken for some... Whoa, she's like, oh! Must have me mistaken for someone else, I assure you. Oh, fine, says Verse. The road to Stalwart is paved in iron. Verse sighs. The farms of Azure are mostly air. She nods with relief. I can, I guess, say the code word that I am supposed to say. I don't remember. Was I supposed to say something? The Queen of Apex died friendless. You've gained fear with Verse. What? No, it's yet their papers aren't aflame. Please, I'm trying to work here. Whoops. Okay. Andrew says, charming. Malfoy says, sorry about the formalities. If word got back to the Voices that I was cutting corners on security, let's just say I prefer my tongue in my mouth and my bowels in my... well, bowels, I guess. She shakes her head. I know you. You were the governor of the crossing, right? I doubt you remember me. Traders come and go. I'm Malfora. She opens her hands to you, palms out. Except in that picture, she's just going, huh? I'm Malfora. What are you going to do about it? So what does the voices of Nerat want us to know? Not one for foreplay, are you? Verse shakes her head. Right, says Malfora. She glances between the two of you before her eyes settle on Verse. The man you're interested in calls himself Crocus. No idea whether that's what his mother named him. Showed up in the crossing a few months back picking fights and looking for rings. He ran afoul of the garrison and they stomped the pants gravy out of him. That's good, I like that. That quieted him down for a bit, but when he started casting around for work again, he boasted of this victory against a band of Furies during the war. Is he still at the crossing? You'd think a story like that would scare off any potential employers, but Asa's never been the brightest ring on the rope. She shakes her head. Who's Asa, says Verse. Malfora says, a cloth dealer originally out of the Azure. Runs a circuit from the crossing to the Brothers and down into the calmer edges of the Blade Grave. He hired Crocus and a few others last week, claiming he needed extra protection for his daughter. Why had he brought his daughter to the crossing in the first place? Overlord only knows. How do we find him? Luckily for you, I'm very good at what I do. Malfora smiles and produces a scroll from her pack. Bam! He usually goes to Stalwart by way of the Ocean Spire, but he's cutting east to make time and avoid beasts. She wraps a knuckle on a thick, black line. Hunter's Respite is now unlocked. Your best bet is to wait for him here at Hunter's Respite. She points to a position just south of Haven. Alright. What can you tell me about the location? A small stretch of wilderness far enough off the trade road to dissuade raiders, but near enough to avoid losing much time. The isolation recommends it, but not much else. Honestly, the Respite's starting to get too well known as a stopover. I give it a year before thieves start hitting it. She sighs. What's your role in all this? Mostly I'm open ears, she says. Came up in the bastard tier, but made for Haven when I could leave home. She twitches, then waves off a bug that buzzes past you. Started hauling goods between the crossing and Sunder, eventually expanding down to the Brothers, and even as far as Ardent in a good year. The conquest was bad for business by then, though I had heard and knew a lot more than I did before. Thought I could turn a profit swapping information with the Archon. I thought right. Not that I'm complaining, mind you. Hail Kairos. She straightens and quickly salutes. Supposed to wait for him and hope he shows up? If you want to catch Crocus, yes, she says. Ace is taking the southern road out of Haven, so he'll almost certainly stop there. He's never made a great secret about it being his favored resting stop around these parts. All right, Malfora, thanks for your help. Verse says, yeah, thanks. When we find this bastard, we'll open him from balls to chin. You now know everything I know about this so-called Fury Slayer. If you have any other questions, you'll have to ask someone else. She bows informally at the waist. All right, is that the whole point of this location on the map? Hey, Malfora, I'm going to steal your shit. She's like, yeah, go ahead. Well, instead of going to the Sunset Spire, better go to Hunter's Respite first, huh? Just in case it's a time thing. Oh my gosh, Gabriel's back. I wonder if viewership would actually go up if I got Obama on the stream, or if it would just be like, oh. I'm so small that nobody would actually know he was ever here. Right. Intercept Crocus at Hunter's Respite. You've learned that Crocus, a man who's boasted about killing 3 Scarlet Furies in Apex during the conquest, accepted work as a caravan guard for a merchant named Asa. The caravan's scheduled route includes a stop at Hunter's Respite. First wants to confront Crocus. There! Very well, we're here. Where's Crocus? I wonder if we'll have to wait. Aha! Crocus! Maybe. Maybe not. Lethian's Crossing. As you approach the bronze-clad caravan guards, they look up as one, leaving dice and rings on the ground as their hands move to weapons. "Who goes there?" says the sentinel. "Actually, you know what? It doesn't matter. Turn back the way you came, stranger, or things get bloody with a quickness." Tandem could be... it could be about... It's true. I see some caravan guards, but not the caravan. Why are you over here? Yeah! Hey, why are you over here? That was said very Obama-like, Tandem. "I don't see how that's any of your business," says the sentinel. He glances over his shoulder towards the north and back to you. "Ah. We're paid guards. We get paid to guard. We don't pick where we guard, and we don't ask why about the where." That made sense, right? His brow knits and he looks to one of his fellows. The other guard shrugs. "I understood perfectly," said Barrick. "Of course you did, bronze brain," says Verse. Bam! "You have questions in need of answering, you speak to Crocus. Find him up the hill to the west." Ha ha! "That's what we were looking for. You gave it away." "Well, he's not over here, is he?" Says he doesn't care. He doesn't care that he just gave away Crocus's position. "We don't know him by sight, you idiot," says Verse. "Shut her up before I shut her up for you?" He winces. "She's acerbic, but she's not wrong." He points to Crocus. "Go back the way you came, then head north up the incline. Crocus is there at the camp." He shoos you with his hand. Alright. I don't have any reason to fight these guys. Seem like they're trying to make an honest buck. Maybe not so honest, but you know what I mean. Hello? What's this? "A ransacked cart seems to have been hastily..." What? Shit. Okay. Verse says, "Hey, Binder, look at this." She lifts bolts of fine cloth from a crate at the back of the cart. "No wear or tear. Has to be freshly woven. Ace of Petals cloth, right? So, where is he?" He's right over here. Just chill for a second. Oh my gosh. Gabriel needs to go to bed. It's after your bedtime, son. So where is he? She frowns. Yeah, she's right over here. "Dried blood. Keep on your toes. This stinks higher than the spires." Yeah, we're gonna go check it out. Just hang on a second. "Ransacked cart seems to have been hastily hidden behind some foliage. It contains several crates filled with bolts of unsoiled cloth and unspoiled food." Your bedtime is whenever I say it is, and it's past your bedtime. "Hi." A tall, thin man in bronze and leather scrutinizes your approach, hand on the hilt of his blade. "That's far enough, stranger," says a guy named Cario. "Oi, Crocus, we've got company." His voice comes out low and rough, a tears-accented growl. "A massive man," answers the lookout's cry, his approach marked by a pronounced swagger. Crocus rests a massive axe on one broad shoulder. That's the second time they said massive in as many sentences. His hair seems to have migrated massively from his scalp to his chin, and the massive veins at his massive temples stand out against his deeply massive tan skin. Crocus says, "Besides Cario here, I've got an entire massive squad behind me, experienced massive warriors all. So I'm left massively wondering, who the fuck are you?" Must be the merchant Asa. This is your loudmouth daughter. "I'm here for Crocus. The rest of you have this one chance to leave with your guts still inside of you." No, this is Verse's thing. Let's let Verse do the talking. "No, I do not want Dairy Queen. Thank you. If you guys are getting it on the way home, I will pass. I'm Fatebinder Violin the Fourth, but more importantly, this is Verse." "No, I don't want anything." Jeez. "Thank you." Verse says, "And I'm about to adjudicate your head open. Justice for my Fury sisters." She grins hungrily. Crocus says, "Oh, shit!" That's a weird thing to say when you're pointing. "Oh, shit! 2 arms! 2 arms!" The mercenary blinks massively as recollection sets in. Ooh. Beast person? And a snapshot, whatever that is. And a deft blade. And Cario. And Crocus. Alright, this might be a doozy of a fight. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, no kidding. Just in time for us to end the stream here. We got a battle. I think we can manage it, though. Okay, let's run our macro here. We get all three of them. We can get all three of them. That's good. Verse, you're going to do that. Violin, you're going to do... Where did Heart Shot go? Ah, there we go. It's been replaced automatically. Very good. You're going to do that. And Lantry... Just hang tight. I have a walking tank. That's right. Well, Lantry's already half dead. Son of a bitch, man. Why are you... What? I told you to go this way. I guess you can't go this way. Alright, fine. Go here, man. This isn't going well so far. Alright, hang on a second, hang on a second. Here we go. This is what I was trying to get here to do. I think we're on normal. Pear tree. Entry plants himself on the floor. You're right! That's when we finally know it's on. There we go. That helps a little bit. Okay. Oh no, bleeding. Uh-oh. I'm actually kind of badly hurt too. Holy shit. Oh, shit, he's right here, so thrust. Lantry, maybe you should do that cool healing thing you do for me. Oh shit, Barrick's almost dead. Whew! Just in time. I think maybe that actually probably was a wasted potion on account of Lantry pulling off his spell, but I wasn't sure he was going to do it right in that instant, so I had him take it anyway. We're kind of surrounded here.
Pay attention, kids. You might learn something.
I'm trying to think how we should focus our energy here, or attention rather, given that if we disengage, of course, they'll get an extra attack, but I kind of don't think that matters right now. Sure, fuck, do that, man. That sounds cool.
Wait out, you little shit.
Nice! Alright, that makes it a little bit easier. I think now we can probably change our attack without paying a penalty for disengaging, right? So, like, if we all focus on this dude and try to take him out really quick. I don't think Verse can get to him, potentially. No, Verse isn't even trying to get to him. There we go. Okay, now, everybody. Actually, yeah, focus on that guy. Yeesh. Poison.
Come and feast my iron.
Yeah, that's a good one. Dude, Verse is so awesome. Okay. Lantry can't do your normal healing. Oh, here we go. Do that to him. Verse, I'm gonna have you come fuck this guy up. Whilst Barrick and Violin take out the beast person. Yeah, she's got the best sayings. I like that one, and I like the I'm gonna tear your skeleton out by your ass. That's always my favorite. Oh, this guy's not long for this world.
I'll tear your scalp.
There it is. Oh, she stopped mid-sentence because we kicked his ass. Huh? Who's this sleeping person here? Is this Era? Asa? Whatever it is? Asa? Crocus. Oh, dang, he's still alive. He says, "Hold! Hold for the love of Kairos." He claps his chest, blood oozing between his fingers. Verse says, "Hold like when you held you and your friends. Hold like you held when you and your friends killed my fucking sisters. For the love of Kairos indeed." Her words escape her clenched teeth in a half-hissed breath. She slips a small knife from her boot and in a flash of bronze opens the fallen man's cheek. Oh, okay, she didn't kill him. She just... Ace of Phelps? She just slashed his cheek. Okay. I was thinking like, wait, he's talking. He got stabbed in the cheek and he's like, "Oh, everything's okay. We can talk about this." "Hold, please, wait. I'm not proud of what I did back then. I'm a changed man, I swear it by the Overlord. I've got a wife now. She's asleep right over there." Dude, you were bragging about the kill like in Lethian's Crossing a couple days ago. He points back towards the nearby tents and bed. "And she slept through this whole thing? I earn an honest living by the damn... Honest living by the damn axe. I protect licensed traders." Okay. Yeah, this is all him in verse. Don't look at me. She's the one you gotta convince. He looks to the Fury at your side. "Overlord, save me." Verse says, "Kairos isn't here, asshole. The only partner at this dance is me." Her boot comes down hard on his ankle, eliciting an audible snap. The sound dissipates into his scream. "Overlord, help me. I never wanted to hurt anyone. It was my damn job. I swore an oath to an Apex Lord because I wanted a bed and food, not because I thought Kairos would ever come to the tears." He sobs. "That oath didn't just dissolve when your armies passed the gates of judgment. I had to kill conscripted tearsmen by the gang, and yes, I helped kill your friends." His head droops, a pink froth of sweat, mucus, and blood dripping from the tip of his nose. "Not friends, asshole. Sisters," says Verse. "Sisters, then," he says. "It wasn't my idea. Catorius had the location. Sick bastard wanted to cook them with his flames. Irissa, she wanted to hunt Furies. Wanted a head on a pike she could wave at her enemies before battle. I was just there following orders." I feel like that's not going to go over too well with Verse, buddy. "You said Catorius cooked people?" "I never actually saw him eat someone, but I'm sure he did. You could see it in his eyes when he looked at you, that hunger. He was a sage, so maybe that explains it." Lantry, does that sound normal to you? "Overlord knows what those scroll fuckers do in their libraries." Lantry says, "Certainly not cannibalism, and copulating with scrolls has been frowned upon for centuries." He says, "We took one of you alive, you know." Verse says, "What? What the fuck are you talking about?" Her eyes widen. "After you disappeared, we realized that one of your Furies was still alive. The big bald one. Catorius took her. Never saw her after." He's silenced by Verse's fist. "Liar!" She punches him again. And again. "Where's Catorius now?" "Oh, sure, it happened. It probably still happens." "I don't know," he says. "I swear by everything and everyone I'd tell you if I knew. He probably died in the Edict of Fire. Served him right, if so. If not, well, he deserves this treatment more than me." Okay, where can we find Irissa? "Like I said, Irissa burned with the fire of revolution. After Apex fell, the crazy bitch couldn't lay down her spear. Last I heard, she was down in the Blade Grave, joined up with those stalwart shitheels, killing disfavored in the older Overlord's endless storm. Here." He fumbles with a case at his side before offering a well-soiled parchment in his blood-slick fingers. Torn strand, okay. "This was from her. She wanted me to come find her and take up arms again. I didn't write back. I'm changed. I love the Overlord. Praise Kairos." How do you want to play this, Verse? "It's a delicious tragedy," she says. "I'll give you that. Let's write it a suitably bloody ending." She fingers the edge of her small bronze knife. "I've sworn loyalty to Kairos," says Crocus. "Go hunt Irissa. Go kill Catorius. They're your true enemies. They're the ones who deserve your justice." He tries to push himself away from Verse, but his heels skid uselessly, plowing furrows in the bloody muck. "Don't worry. We will," says Verse. Grasping his gore-matted beard, she jerks his chin upward and places the knife against his exposed throat. Do I get one more chance to stop this? "Please." A bubble of pink mucus expands and contracts in his left nostril. Ugh. This is pathetic, man. I think we remain silent. Let Verse do what she wants to do. "This one's for seeking sheath," she says. She rams the blade into his eye. Ooh. Twisting it roughly and digging it deeper into his skull as he screams. He bucks and spasms wildly. Holy shit. I pushed a lady off a tower, but all I had to do was just go whoop, and she fell. I didn't have to like fucking stab her in the eye. She is savage. Whew. Uncharacteristically silent, Barrick watches with crossed arms. No kidding. Dishonored, no shit. Oh man, I still think about that time that the Dowd stabbed the witch in the arm. Woo! Yikes. That was a surprise. Thanks, Fatebinder, says Verse. She proffers you a curt nod. Wait, is he dead? You dug it into his brain, right? You didn't just take out his eye. Yeah, he's dead.
Erissa's next. Let's go find her.
She turns to go, but comes to a stop instead. Instead, she lets out a quiet sigh and looks back to you.
Seeking was special, you know.
Okay, tell me about her.
Seeking was all dynamo. Short with hair
not
like
dead.
moss on a stone and skin the
He's a very
color of
convincing
the night
actor.
sky. Laughed at everything. Even insults. She never stopped moving. If we camped, she paced the tents or palisades, always pushing us to get on. Part of it was the gambling. People would stop taking her bets after a day or two. The first time she says she can put a javelin in an apple at 100 yards, a man puts rings down. The second time, he's willing to go double or nothing. The third, that's when he stops betting.
Sounds pretty awesome.
Kairos' crooked cock, was she?
That's one hell of a curse.
Crazy thing about Seeking, it wasn't raw talent. She practiced that shit. The spear work and the javelins, practiced every hour she wasn't sleeping or on assignment. She'd thread the sky with 3 or 4 javelins and dance towards her foe with a spear longer than she was tall. She'd knock a soldier's feet out from under him and let the javelin pin him to the ground. That's her name. Her spears found their marks as if they sought them.
She's actually kind of threatening my self-confidence. She sounds like an even more badass javelin thrower than me. Go on.
Her name meant more than the spear play. Seeking always sought, always looked for new things, new experiences, new stories, new men, new bits of lore. In summer, she'd collect stinging insects, fill thin clay jars with them, and smash them against her foes. No fight was ever even for Seeking. You either got the drop, or you got dropped.
Well, this is funny. This lady sounds hardcore.
Thanks. You know, for listening.
Yeah, of course. I always like when somebody waxes nostalgic after stabbing a dude in the brain. She shakes her head roughly as if clearing the fog from it.
Let's go. This oath-breaking scumsack won't hunt herself.
Okay, what are we going to do about the wife? Staggering burn. Stance upgraded. Sheeking Seath stance has been upgraded. Okay, we'll check that out in a second. Scrolls. Raw meat. Water. Young woman lies on a bedroll. Her breathing is slow and heavy. Verse says, "Oh shit." Verse peers down on the sleeping girl, whose tightly curled hair is strewn haphazardly about her caramel brown features. She drops to a knee, checking over Crocus's captive. Ah, so he was lying about the wife, was he? Yeah, it's good to have Verse on your side, I think. The girl's eyes flutter open, staring blankly, the pupils reducing her cloudy brown irises to thin rings. Uh-oh. Tolia says, "Father? Where's father?" Her eyes close again and her muscles remain entirely limp. What? Ace's daughter. What do you think? Says Verse. Verse lays her down gently, then stands up looking to you. So we never saw Asa, unless Cassio, what was his name? Cassio was Asa, but I thought Asa was a woman. Smother her. Holy shit. Leave her enough supplies to get back to the crossing. We don't have a beef with her. Verse nods, and the two of you set a few skins of water and some dry rations near the girl's prone form. She passed out. There's fruit and grain in the cart, too, and cloth to carry it, says Verse, assuming she has any appetite after seeing this slaughter. Let's go, Fatebinder. I'm sick of this place. Verse shakes her head. Forget it, Fatebinder. It's Chinatown. You learn from Crocus that Irissa, one of the Apex soldiers who destroyed Verse's gang, can be located among a group of Unbroken at the Torn Strand. Travel there with Verse to confront her. This is suddenly like Kill Bill. We're just tracking a gang down that, one by one, that's responsible for doing harm to one of our party members. It's kind of funny. What is it? The Deadly Viper Assassination Squad? Is that what they were called? Well, there's... Oh, shit. Why is Trapper's Junction still lit up? Torn Strand is where Verse's next mission is. But I think I want to go to Lethian's Crossing next. Should I go to the Spire first? Let's go to the Spire. Hi, Noodle. Welcome to the stream. We'll go to the Spire first. We can get a rest, I think, and then we'll switch over. We're about 15 minutes behind our normal switchover time here. You make out a few figures on the road well ahead of you. The glint of iron and bronze marks them as well-armed and armored. Two feature the broad shoulders of beastmen haulers and lead a heavily laden cart. As they near, you realize that the standard flown from their cart boasts the heraldry of Tunon the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice. They hail you as you approach. You recognize the woman who leads the procession as a minor functionary in Tunon's service by the name of Alma. Her clothes bear the red, black, and gold of the court, excuse me, and she keeps her light brown hair in a carefully braided bun atop her head. Speak with him. Fatebinder Violin the Fourth, she greets you with a bow. I travel in the Archon's service. The cart behind me is laden with supplies, all at a reasonable price. Is there anything I can provide you? Sure. Alma grins. Of course, let me show you what I have. She pulls the cover off of her cart with a flourish. Apparently we're standing inside the beginning of a prog rock album. I'm good on camping supplies, right? I think I'm good on camping supplies. I think I can only have 8. Yeah, 8 of 8, so don't even. Oh, healing potions. Yeah. Oh, just one of them. Sure. Could always use more healing. It's Zash's Drought. Reflect 30% of incoming hostile spells back to their casters for 120 seconds. Cannot be pushed for 120 seconds. Immunity to interrupts for 120 seconds. Sure, what the hell. I'll probably forget to buy it. To take it, rather. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Oops, I'm assuming that we were done there. Oh, I teleported, that's right. Hello, wow, there's a lot of people up here. Wallace, Master of Smiths. Okay. Well, gang, we're going to leave it right here, and we're going to switch over to Prey. I think this is a good spot to stop before we go down to Lithian's Crossing. Good grief, it's taken us a while to get here, hasn't it? It's basically 2 full streams we spent in the Bastard Wound. Okay, give me like 5 minutes and we'll get switched over to Prey. Of course, I gotta do all the setup and everything.